Good morning. Is everyone having a wonderful week? I'm really looking forward to sharing today, partly because I really and truly had no idea what I would say when even as late as last night. And Stephen and I were talking, and we came up with some ideas. So I'm going to start with applying some of my oils while we wait for the top of the hour to come. And the first oil that I'm going to put on myself right now is Stress Away. If anybody would like to join me, just putting it into my hand, breathing it in. And I will talk a little bit later once we get started about why I'm choosing this to be the very first oil that I'm using today. I always love seeing some of you online before the top of the hour, and it's very, very rewarding. I appreciate it very much, and I love seeing the little hearts go by. It just encourages me a little bit more. But I hope that today is going to be a helpful session. I've been applying a lot of oils this morning, and we'll talk about a lot more. So let's see, it looks like we're getting close. Maybe one more minute or so, we'll wait. So, at any rate, when I selected my topic today, I just chose the one word, immunity. And so I then thought, what am I going to say? Well, here in Asia particularly, and actually globally, many people are very concerned about immune response right now, especially with all the viruses that are creating havoc. So that's what I decided to talk about, and we're going to start with the physical part. We're so lucky because in Young Living we have an array of essential oils to help us to support our immune function. I have my pouch with my raindrop oils, and every day I layer the oils of raindrop on the bottoms of my feet. This is something you can do yourself. It's something your children can do. You can sit down with your children. This is going to boost immune function so that it will support you in having better immunity. Now, I looked up trying to get some ideas here. I looked up the word immunity. I Googled it, and I found out it is protection or exemption from something. That sounded like a pretty good thing to do in view of the viruses and all of the challenges that are out there for us. And the obvious things that all of us can do, every single one of us can do, is to drink more water, to use lemon. If you don't have the Lemon Plus or Lemon Vitality essential oils from Young Living, you can at least use lemon, the fruit. We have the thieves that can be diffused or applied. My favorite, really, MU Power. For some reason, I think of this as the silver bullet, purification. The fact is that every essential oil has the ability to support you in higher immunity, protection. That's its function in the plant itself. Every essential oil protects the plant that it is in from any outside invasion. So The one thing it may not be the perfect oil that you need, but what it will be is it will not create any challenges for you. If you should have any kind of a reaction when applying the essential oils, it merely means that you're detoxing very rapidly and you may choose to hold back and use them a little bit more slowly. So, another one that I didn't even have out and I have been diffusing a lot is lemongrass. That's a great essential oil. The real thing is that it is our responsibility to take care of ourselves. And what does responsibility really mean? It is our ability to respond in whatever situation we have. So when we take responsibility for our own immune function, we will likely actually be protected. So let's take a deep breath. What is the greatest drain, or what are the greatest drains on our immune system? Give you a moment to think about them. The first two things that came to my mind were stress and fear. And this is why I chose Stress Away first. And I've been using a lot of Stress Away. I've been diffusing it, using it, carrying it with me. But fear is really, stress is at the root of all fear. So basically, or rather, fear is at the root of all stress. I apologize. So if we look at fear, then we may go back to that idea of looking at the fear. Now, before we go there, I do have one other thing that I want to talk about, that what we can do on the physical level that is also kind of the energetic level. And that is to think about our thymus. Who knows what the thymus is? The thymus is the master gland of the immune system. It is also part of the endocrine system, which is our hormone system. So it's got two big functions in the body. The thymus is located right up here on the upper chest. Now, I want you to think back to King Kong. What did he do to make himself so strong when he was trying to improve himself? He used to beat on his chest. You remember this? Now, I'm not advocating that you beat on your chest. However, gently tapping your chest, whether it's with your fingers or your knuckles, gently. Stephen is always telling me that I beat on my chest too hard, but it will gently stimulate your thymus to create more T cells from whatever stem cells are available. It will create more T cells, which are your immune warriors. So as we're tapping our chest, we can also do something else that may be really helpful for you. We can do some self-talk, and we can also do some self-talk, which is like self-talk. We can actually talk to ourselves, letting them know that we know that they're working hard to defend us against whatever is coming in, and that everything is going to be okay, because we are not in fear. We are proactively doing something to support ourselves. Do you see the difference here? So let's go back to this idea of looking at words. Stephen loves to look at words, and when we were talking yesterday, and I said I was talking on immunity, he said, well, you know what that is, don't you? Immunity is really I'm unity. Cut that word up. Drop out the M. You've got I'm unity. What is being in unity? What puts us in being in unity? It means being connected with the source and centered and grounded. When we are centered and grounding, there is no fear. And remember, fear is going to ravage your immune system. It's so easy to fall into fear. So as we focus upon getting rid of the fear, on centering and grounding, we're putting ourselves in a very strong position. Would you agree? Getting rid of the fear. So how do we do that? Well, for those of you who follow me and use the rainbow healing or part of the New Life journey, we create our sacred space. And what is that? That is all about making that strong connection with the source, above and below, and creating a cylinder where you can push all the distractions, the chaos, the fear outside your sacred space, putting up your boundaries, those shiny silver energies that will reflect back to the sender anything harmful directed towards you, and those sparkling golden energies that will transmute any negativity. And we just fill it with the harmonious energies. We use the energies. This is what the journey of the glyphs is all about. And of course we have our 11 oils. First, our connection with the source, the sacred mountain. Then going through the journey of the glyphs, applying the oils. It's like getting dressed before we go out. Before we go out of our house, we put on our clothes. We clean ourselves up and we put on our clothes before going out. And that's exactly what the journey of the glyphs is. We start with that, clearing the blocks with the geranium essential oil, breathing in those oils. We begin building our own strong cells and molecules that will create a beautiful, strong immune function because we are powerful. And we then begin to become more authentic by taking off our masks and then nurturing ourselves. Then we take that giant leap of activating everything, that breath of life with the orange essential oil, and we accept ourselves. We then release the rest, anything else that is holding us back, and begin weaving ourselves back together. So it's just a process of putting on our armor before we go out and face the fears and the things that are not supporting us in that outer world, knowing that merely by taking in a deep breath and visualizing our sacred space, we can be enhancing our immune function as well as our spiritual function. So, people ask me, how often do we do this? Do we do this in the morning? Do we do it at night? Do we do it once a week, once a month? How often? Once we've created it, is it there forever? Well, I'm one who believes in repetition. Remember, I was a math teacher, and in math we do the same things over and over, learning more with every time that we do it. So every time you create your sacred space, every time you breathe in these beautiful essential oils, you will be strengthening who you are, strengthening your your connection with the Creator and strengthening your immune system, because as your connection is stronger and stronger, fear will dissipate. And when there is no fear, we are powerful. And I'm going to close today with a quote that I came across when I was Googling. And that is a quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson. Fear defeats more people than any other one thing in the world. Fear defeats more people than any other one thing in the world. So as you go out and into this week, in your homes, outside, I challenge you to put on your armor each morning, to use your oils, to take responsibility for your own immunity, for being in unity. And I'll look forward to seeing you next week.